Hi guys, Mons here. On this episode of Ball in Months, we're going to be looking at the Champions League final preview and prediction between PSG and Arsenal. And just before I get started, if you're new on my channel, please make sure you hit the subscribe button. And if you're already subscribed, I do appreciate the support. So we're down to the final two, the last two teams of the long Champions League season, the long football season, final game of football before the regular season, before the World Cup, which I'm really looking forward to. So in this one, obviously we have PSG versus Arsenal. PSG versus Arsenal, I think, is a battle of two philosophies. You have Enrique there, fast flow football, pressing really high up, getting as many goals as you can. You have Mikel Arteta, slow, control the pace of the game. Take your time, building your attack, knock it from side to side, bring it back, knock it from side to side, and eventually open up the opposition. If you can get a final ball, you can get a killer ball, and then obviously defending really well, being solid in the back. I think the way I try to use football is defense is the best way of actually winning championships, winning medals, winning trophies. That's the way I try to view football, and I sort of agree with that. However, you have to make it a little bit entertaining as well. And the last couple of months, Arsenal were very poor. However, I do feel this is Arsenal's year. For some reason, I just feel like this is Arsenal's year. They broke their dry spell of not winning the league title, I think, in over 20 years. And now I think it's going to be their first Champions League trophy. They're going to win this in their club history. Obviously, they were back in it back in 2006 when they lost to Barcelona. They were very unlucky that day, and Henry had an absolute stinker. Henry missed about, from what I remember, 2-3 really good chances Henry would have put away. That's a discussion for another day in terms of Henry being not being a clutch player, especially in big moments in his career. Um, Obviously, for me, this pick, I'm picking Arsenal to win this one. I just feel something this season about Arsenal. As much as I hate Arsenal, they've won the league. They've been very, very solid. If there's one team that can actually keep PSG in check, it's Arsenal. The way they're very good defensively, in my opinion. Arsenal are going to set up shop. They're going to be solid, and PSG are going to find it very hard to break them down, in my opinion. Unless there's a freak incident, and then PSG get an early goal. I think the best thing for neutrals in this final is for PSG to get an early goal. And the worst thing for neutrals in this final is for Arsenal to get an early goal. Because if PSG gets an early goal, Arsenal are going to have to come out and actually attack and try to get a goal. But if Arsenal get an early goal, you can forget about being a good final, because Arsenal are going to sit back, making it one of the most unwatchable finals in the history of Champions League. But if they get the job done, Arteta is not going to care. Same way he got the job done in the Premier League, playing the style of football he's played. For me, I'm really looking forward to this game. I can't wait for this game. Obviously, the lineups are going to be pretty similar to what it has been. I think I would like to see Eze start, because I think for Arsenal, Eze could be the X factor for this Arsenal team. But I'm not sure if Arteta is going to start Eze, in my opinion. Obviously, I think Hakimi is still out for PSG. I think Zaire Emery is going to deputise a right fullback, and I think that's a spot where Arsenal can actually get at PSG, in my opinion. Obviously, we have Nuno Mendes left fullback. I think he's one of the best left foot in the world in the last 2-3 years, in my opinion. I think Arsenal in this game have to go and do what they have been doing best all season long, is having control of the game, being controlled, and do not go trying to go band for band with PSG. If you try to go band for band with PSG, I just don't see Arsenal again. I just don't see Arsenal again. If Arsenal trying to go back for PSG, I can see Arsenal getting annihilated, because PSG attacking players are just too good, in my opinion, compared to the Arsenal ones, in my opinion. Obviously, I think Arsenal are going to struggle to create really good chances in this one. I think it's going to be vital for wherever starts up front. I think it's going to be Gokaresh. Wherever starts up front for Arsenal, you get one chance, you have to take it, because Arsenal aren't the best team at creating chances, in my opinion, especially when you look at the XG. Um, Obviously, with PSG, you know what you're going to get. You have Kvaratskhelia, you have Dembele, you have Doué, and the midfield is fantastic as well. It's going to be a big test for Declan Rice in that middle of the park, in my opinion. Can Declan Rice, obviously we know what he's like energy wise, but can he have just a little bit of composure when he gets the ball to try and keep the ball rather than giving the ball back to PSG every single time when he wins the ball back? I think I think Arteta would look to overload on the PSG right hand side. Like I said, that's the weakness of PSG, in my opinion. I probably maybe Trossard to be out that way, or maybe they might play Eze out there, and maybe Eze talking as well. I don't know what the starting lineup is, so it's going to be very, very interesting to see this how this game pan out. I'm picking Arsenal on this one. I just feel this is Arsenal year. Arsenal has a chance of creating history. They won the Premier League for the first time in over 20 years. This can be their first Champions League in the club history. And if Arteta somehow manages to win this Champions League, I think he's going to get a statue because you're basically achieving what no other Arsenal manager has ever achieved for Arsenal Football Club. So for me, it's a huge night for Arsenal. I know some of the Arsenal fans try to play down because they've won the league. However, if they do lose, I still think it's been a very successful season for Arsenal, simply because the main objective for this season was to win a big trophy, and they've done that with the Premier League. However, the Champions League is there for the taking. You're in the final, 90-minute game. Can you go and grab it? Can you go and make that decisive play, decisive moment in the final to win the final? And I think Arsenal are actually going to win this final. That's my prediction. That's my pick. If you made it to the end of my video, please make sure you hit the subscribe button. Do appreciate the support. See you there. Thank you. Peace out.